afternoon, good evening, and good morning, wherever you are watching us from. This is Kartilehtv Medias broadcasting live from our studio in London. Today, we will be discussing about the connection between Tigray and Isa, and I have got a guest here who will be staying with me for the rest of the evening. So those of you who are watching us live, please try to help us by cascading this information to as many members of the international community as possible, and also try to share, subscribe, and retweet because this video is simultaneously being broadcasted via YouTube, Facebook, as well as Twitter. So thank you so much for taking your valuable time to listen to our program. So I have got a guest today who is here with me. His name is Mohammed. Mohammed, thank you so much for taking your valuable time to listen to have a discussion with us in our program. So welcome to our program. I would like to thank you for taking your valuable time to be with us today. Thank you.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Thank you very much, Addis, and I appreciate this great opportunity. My name is Mohammed Awale, of course. I presently live in the United States, and I am a member of at least the Somali Isa. The Isas are Somalis who has been slaughtered, who has been basically utterly, completely slaughtered the community of the Isa here in Ethiopia itself, as much as the crazy man, the criminal mindset, the criminal man of Abiy, who are arming and also inviting to as a way to grab like a land grab in Ethiopia, as he's doing exactly in Tigray. That's what he's doing at the Isa land. And Isa is a part of the Somali community, and they are part of the what is it called today the Somali state or a Somali killer. But unfortunately, the government in Jigjiga do not want to help the community. Those are the one Somalis as well, but that is in terms of a clan or a nation, I would say. But unfortunately, as you already know, and Mustafa Agjar, the head of Somalis in Jigjiga, he already sent even 3,000. They say 3,000 Somalis to Tigray, and he's not helping the Isa that has been murdered. And it's been massacred massively in the town called Garba, in a town called Danlehele, in a town called Andufo. And what is so sad that at least the world must know, there was a 400 people who ran away from the Afars, those thugs who claimed to be a paramilitary, who were shooting them live ammunition, a civilian, and they ran into the Ethiopian Army Forces barrack, their camp, and they watched them. The Ethiopian army did not do anything, and this Afar literally slaughtered 400 people. Jesus. So how could anybody claim to be part of the Abiy regime? How could anybody even claim to be Ethiopian? Why would this, what is wrong with this guy? Why does he want a bloodshed? He attacked Tigray. I quite clearly remember when he started attacking Tigray. His propaganda is not going to cut it. The reason the whole thing started, because I was following closely, and I know very much Ethiopia. I know, because I have a family there, been there thousands of times. I was following closely the last time that he started attacking Tigray. It's all because he didn't want to do the election. He didn't want to have election. He didn't want to organize election. He wanted to become a dictator. But when the Tigray government said, "Listen, we want at least the proper way of doing and holding an election," and they had a meeting, and the different parties, even Oromo parties, the Tigray parties, and other parties, but he refused. What did he do? He come up with a lie, saying that they attack a military base in the Ethiopian military base, the Tigray. That's a false. That's a lie. That's exactly what he did here. He promised. Why did probably the people may ask themselves, why would the Afar attack the Somali Isas? I will tell you, because Abiy promised them. Even Getachew Reda said it himself the last time. He promised them, if I will give you the land of Isa, if you fight along with me and attack Tigray. Why would Afar people do that? Even the leaderships. Now they created enemies with the Tigray people and with the Somali people, particularly the Isas. That's the main reason. It's about land grab. He promised them a huge land. And you know what he said when people ask them, why would you doing that? Why you arming the Afars to invade the Isa land and even displacing 200,000 Isas out of their homes? You know what was the reply? The Somalis have huge land. This man, so-called Abiy, so-called, excuse me, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. I was saying, what's got to do with him was that Somalia has a big land or not? Because if that land belongs to you, what is got to do with him?
Exactly. It has a lot to do with him because this guy is a madman. If he was not be stopped, he's gonna create a like a Holocaust in Ethiopia. Look at what he's doing. He just recently bombed Mekelle.
Yeah, he did.
And children died. He bombed hospitals. He's ordering to bomb. What is this hatred coming from this guy? Why not? Why not the Ethiopian?
I know. Can you explain to me about the historical background of Isa? Is there any historical background for the Abiy Ahmed to say that for the Afar to come and take land in Afar? Have you, in the exception of sharing borders, have you ever had historical connection in sharing lands with Afar in the past? What made him asking Afars to come and invade the Isa's land? What was the historical connection?
Well, the background of the both communities, they've been there together for centuries. There was never been any problem other than just like the common herders or the countryside. From time to time, they fight because of the grazeland or because of the wells, if there is a needed water or what have you. There was never been any political organized. Even the people who are attacking the Afar attacking the Isas are the new police, Afar new police. They are well armed. They are well trained. They have a deadly weapon. These people, they did not supposed to even fight or kill a civilian. They were trained to fight with another army. So the reason they've been there, even the Afar and Isa, they live together in Djibouti. It's not only in Ethiopia. But one of the things that I think the Ethiopian administration, ever since Haile Selassie, the Naftanyas, they were doing mostly is because Isas, they situated both sides from the train, where the train coming from Djibouti all the way to Addis. And also the other side, north of Djibouti, and they come in at the road coming from in Afar, Isa, then all the way to Tigray, Amhara state, as well as Oromo. So the Isa, they live in a very strategic position that God put them there. Exactly. So there was never been any claim. This claim had just started ever since Abiy came.
Abiy Ahmed came. So you've been living side by side peacefully in the time of EPRD.
Absolutely. During EPRD, the only mistake they made was they bring one portion of the Somali Isa land under the Afar, but they did not ask them to displace them. They did not ask the Afar to kill these people and remove their land. They never did that. But they were under the administration for 5 years, Afar administration, even though they haven't done anything for them. But the Abiy came, he said, okay, he was looking for a pretext. He said, okay, we're going to do a referendum. When he realized the Afar administration and Awal Arba, that guy said, we're not going to have a referendum because none of us live there. None of us live there in those areas that he wanted. So the only thing we can do this, we have to remove them. So the Ogas, or the king of Isa, had been having a meeting with the Sultan of Sultan Al-Mir. He died of Anfar. They made a peaceful resolution. They said, listen, you do not need to infringe or try to force these people to displace their place, their land. All we have to do, we have to live peacefully side by side, like we always did. But guess what? These guys, they have the expansionist mentality.
Yeah.
They wanted to grab land. So the main reason Abiy did was the main reason that he armed them, he gave them ammunition, and he even ordered Akjar, Mustafa Akjar, the head of Somali state, not to interfere, just simply because he told them this is a reward. He told them, you fight along with me in the Tigray, then I will reward you for you to take this grab this land. That's exactly what happened.
So what is Mustafa doing now? Mustafa should have been fighting this corner. What is Mustafa doing?
Exactly. He's supposed to even defend the Afars, but because he's a stooge. Mustafa Akjar, he's a stooge. He's a puppet for Abiy. The guy is not even man enough to stand up for his own people. What did he do? He sent 3,000 Somalis, young Somalis, to Tigray. Why? And I'm asking right now, if they could, if they will have an opportunity to listen to this, especially the young Somalis, please do not accept that. Do not go to Tigray, because you're gonna die for nothing, in vain. You're gonna die in vain. If you wanna fight, if you wanna defend something, defend your land. Garba Isa, Handufo, Danlehele is under occupation of Anfar thugs, so-called new police, who are killing and slaughtering masses of young children and women. It will be disturbing if you see this. If I will send you eventually the images that I'm talking about. And guess what? The Ethiopian forces are watching them. They are not doing anything. They're not even. They're supposed to protect these people. 400 people, they've been slaughtered in front of them. They didn't do anything. They didn't say anything. And even Abiy congratulate Awal Arba'a what he did.
These 400 people are Isa citizens, yeah?
Yes, they're Isas, and they run. They run from the Anfar new police, and they run into the Ethiopian army camp. So they were expected they could be protected. They didn't do anything. 400 of them, they killed them within 3 hours. Few survivors whom they thought died while they were wounded crawled out of there, and they were eventually went to see their relatives, the rest of the relatives, but many of them, at least the number that we have, 400 people were killed one single day. Not even counting the rest that is being killed. Even there are 700 people are missing.
Are you making this known to the international community? Does the international community become aware of all this?
We have done it the best we could. We contacted them. We contacted some lawyers. We contacted even, we publish it. Every day we publish it in. But as you know, the international community, they all focus on Ukraine. Even they're not even properly addressing the issue of Tigray.
Yeah,
they're not even stopping this guy. No. They just sent a huge vessel, and it's already in Djibouti now. Yeah. And that's the wheat coming from Ukraine, I believe, or Russia. And guess what? Yes, and guess what? That guy Abiy, he's only going to give his army. He's not going to give the people.
No, he won't. He won't.
He won't give the people. Yeah, and he's going to sell it in order to purchase a weapon. But international community, are they aware of that? I don't know.
Maybe they do. They are aware, but then they just don't want to do anything. So when it comes to Isa, just tell me the population of Isa, are they now removed from their own home and thrown out from their own homes, or are they in their home? What is happening? Because you said the Afars are taking over Isa. Where are the native Isa people? What happened to them?
The thousands they kill, but the rest, I will say, the people who are over there, they are telling us it's more than 100,000 people fled from the area that the Afars invaded. And they through marches. Some of them, they've been marching for 2 days. It is really, really a very catastrophic. And none of the so-called international organization are paying attention to it. We have written for them. Many of my colleagues have written for them to them. They have spoken, even some of the local UN officers, but they're not having it. Maybe it's not excited enough for a bunch of Africans killing each other. No, if we were probably white or happy to be in Europe, maybe it would have been different.
Well, 500,000 people have been reported killed in Tigray. 200,000 women have been reported raped, even though that figure is still a conservative figure. We believe it is more than that, but they have still done nothing, as you know. So it will require a combined effort from the diaspora community living abroad, outside the country. It will require a lot of hard working, I believe.
I believe we need to work together. The Tigray people as well as the Somali Isa needs to work together, because we are facing a common enemy. Not only a enemy, it's a deadly enemy, it's a bloodthirsty enemy. And if we, even especially those of us abroad or even diaspora, we need to come together and pull our resources together. And even if we have to expose this guy, even I will even speak directly to the Ethiopian people, even the Ethiopian army. If they don't stop this guy, it's not going to end in Tigray or the Somali region. This guy, he wants to stay in power by any means necessary, even if he has to kill millions of Ethiopians. The guy, he's a criminal. His mentality, even. And I'm sorry to say this, but I will send to you even a clip that he did. We have a clip in Ethiopian Parliament. You know what he said? Tamerleku, Amfarot salam no, Isa no, Rabshenya no. You know what he said? Rest assured, the Afars are peaceful. The Isas are the one who said, how could you? It's exactly what he's doing. He's claiming to say, oh, we are peaceful, but Tigrays are troublemakers.
And he's also claiming
this is his strategy.
Yeah. He is now, those people who are intentionally supporting him, we cannot do anything. We will fight them together against them together with Abiy Ahmed. But there are people in Ethiopia, in every part of Ethiopia, who do not have access to the media. They only listen to what is being told to them. What is your message to them?
Well, my message is very clear. They have to open their eyes. Stand up for yourself. This guy is destroying your country. By the time he came to power, everybody remember, the country was peaceful. Ethiopia was economically one of the top in Africa. Look at you now. You can't even afford buying a bread.
No.
It has nothing to do with the war of Ukraine. It is this guy. The guy, he believes killing. The guy, he's so stupid. He was the opportunity that he had. If I had that opportunity, I would have cherished it. He came to power with no problem. There was a stability. There was no war. Nobody was fighting anybody. The economy was booming. The infrastructure was good.
Yeah.
There is some, of course, we could criticize it in a way, EPRDF in some ways, but they did it in a way. The economy was good, and he inherited. What did he do? What did he do it? He went to war.
He bought weapons, and then he started killing his own people.
Destruction, killing. He ravaged the whole country. Now he's the mayor of he's the mayor of Addis. He's not even the prime minister. I'm surprised that people call him a prime. He can't even run out of other state, and he did that to himself. He's the mayor of Addis. He cannot even run even Addis. The guy has to be guarded by thousands of bodyguards. Look at him. He cannot even travel by car.
We have heard recently he's asking Mustafa to give him as many arms as possible, as many armies as possible to go to Tigray to fight against Tigrayans again. And I'm sure Mustafa, if he can, he would do that. There is no doubt about that. He is his, as you said, he does what he asked him to do. If he cannot defend Isa, I cannot expect him to defend Tigray at all. So what is your message to these people who are being forced to go and fight against Tigray?
Okay, first of all, it's a very unfortunate. The Somalis, they did not elect or they did not choose Mustafa Omar. He was handpicked.
Yes, he was.
By Abiy and his cronies. They brought him from Kenya to Jigjiga. So there is a very little to expect from him, because he's working for Abiy. If Abiy tell him even to kill his own mother, he will do it. So I don't expect anything. But I would like to talk to the Somalis. Be careful. Do not let this guy send to Tigray your children, your young men, because they're gonna die. Because this war is not just war; it's an unjust war. This is a war of domination. He wants to dominate. He thinks the only community who will stop him becoming a dictator is a Tigray. That's why he targeted you first. And I am asking the Somali fathers, mothers, you're going to be cry tomorrow. You will cry for your kids if you let this guy, Mustafa, using your kids because he wants to satisfy with his boss. Because Mustafa only served Abiy. And even not to mention, even there's another fool. I'm sorry to use this word because it really pisses me off. His name is Adam Farah. Do you know Adam Farah? He's a Somali Isa.
Is he?
And he's a Somali Isa. And he is, quote unquote, Abiy told him, you are the deputy member of PPP, which I call it bullshit party. PP2B is a bullshit party. These people that are sick. This guy, Adam Farah, his own people has been slaughtered. And the order is given by Abiy, and he's not doing anything. This never happened by Somalis before. Somalis, by that, they were brave. The men and women of Somalis, they were brave. But as many people have said, nowadays, because of bad leadership, that's why we are in bad shape. But we must rise up. The Somalis must rise up. In Jigjiga, in Dagahbur, in Deredawa, in Shenile, everywhere. You guys, you must rise up. Don't be afraid of this fool. Otherwise, he's going to bring war like he did the last time. Even last time, he pit one community against another in Ethiopia. That's what he did exactly, Oromo against Somalis. It was about a year ago. And he imprisoned even the leadership, the Oromo leadership. And I wonder what's going on with the OLA, Oromo Liberation Army. They must do something about it. Otherwise, today, people will remember us. Tomorrow, people will regret. This guy, he's worse than Derg.
Yes.
I remember as a kid, the Derg, they used to call the Red Terror.
Yes.
This guy, he's worse than them. Because the Derg didn't even, I don't think, I'm not sure even the Derg has done 18 years that they are in power, what this guy has done already.
Yeah,
in a very short period of time.
Yeah, you're right. Correct. It's correct. Okay, so I have a question for you. Let's assume, well, I'm sure it's a matter of time. Abiy Ahmed will be removed from power. It's a matter of time. What do you feel the country that let you down, the country that the man who leads the country slaughtered your own people instead of protecting them? What is your future now? How do you feel now if Abiy Ahmed is gone and another leader is coming and say, don't worry, whatever happened was because of Abiy Ahmed, now someone is coming? How do you feel about your future with a man like this? Do you think another leader will come and sort everything out? Do you have any hope that will happen?
So. I don't think so. I don't think so. Ethiopia has always been the satellite of foreign countries. And one of them, I'm living it, the United States. Those are the one and European who decide who should run. Even they handpick him. Yeah, who handpick Abiy? They did it.
Yeah,
we know that. Okay, but I think personally, the Ethiopian people deserve a referendum. Even the Article 39 of Ethiopian Constitution, let people decide. If the Somalis don't want to be part of Ethiopia, they have to mind. If the Tigray people don't want, I don't think even the Tigray people would like to have anything to do with Ethiopia now, because the rest of the Ethiopia are watching them. This man is slaughtering their children.
Yeah, yeah.
Why would the Ethiopian people are not reacting? They have to act now. But I believe referendum is the only solution. If they want to be together, they have to choose their own leadership, not the leadership that has been chosen from outside. That's what I think.
And also the Amhara expansionists, as you know them, they want the Ethiopia that speaks one language and prays one religion. That's what they have been doing. That's what they are now calling one Ethiopia, one Ethiopia. One Ethiopian is, to them, Ethiopia speaks one language and prays one religion. End of story. So, to
me, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm very much interested about this subject. In fact, of course. To me, it's they wanna bring back Neftanya. They want the Amhara domination, like we all know the whole history.
Yeah,
I heard that. Even I read that. One Ethiopia. Okay, what is it? What's one Ethiopia? The dominant culture will be Amhara again.
That's it.
And everybody else is going to be the subjugated. Is that what they want? What Ethiopia? Listen, personally, the decentralization that has been done, because it was a question of nationality. It wasn't a question of class in Ethiopia, and that in itself was solved.
So these Amhara expansionists are against the constitution. They are always demanding for the constitution to be changed completely. So if the constitution has to be changed, for example, if he wakes up tomorrow, Abiy Ahmed, I'm sure he has already evaluated all the constitutional rules. He's not following the constitution, but the constitution by name is still there. So what do you, how would you feel if they say tomorrow the constitution is not there, Article 39 is not there, just to stay as one Ethiopia, no referendum, no chance of speaking your own language? Your children have to learn Amharic whether they like it or not, and you need to forget your language. What would you feel? And what do you advise to the rest of Ethiopia who are part of the nations and nationalities of Ethiopia who have been exercising their own language in the previous 27 years? This is what they are against, the Amhara expansionists.
Yes, well, an Amhara expansionist, I know, and it's been there before, even during Haile Selassie. This was there during the Derg, and they want that return again. But the amendment of the constitution in itself, Abiy tried even to do that with the electoral, the article about the election. I don't know if you remember back in 2020. When he wanted to stay in power, he wanted to amend that. And I remember the Tigray party refused it, the Oromos refused it, even the Amhara refused it then. But the Amharas would like to amend it. Even I wouldn't say the whole Amharas. Even
it's only few of them. Only few of them.
The fanatics of them, the fanatics. Yeah. Those are the radicals. Because Even one of them, I think, he so-called professor in Gondar University. You know what he says? These people, our fathers, they used to be slave for our fathers, and we need to return them. So these people are not kidding. They want to enslave us. They want to enslave our children. But the message that I have for them, this is not yesterday. But you better get used to it. Today, people will defend themselves. But Abiy, he has to be removed, even by the army in itself, even by the people in Addis. They have to remove him because he's not going to bring any good in this country. And after that,
carry on.
And after that, at least different nationalities, different community will discuss if they want to be together or if they want to go separate. Because bringing Ethiopia in this way, it's personally, it's always been a shaky relationship between nationalities, because there is always one nationality wanted to dominate the rest of the people. Even I know this radical that we talked about, they hate the fact that other nationalities, they could write and read their own languages. They have their own TV in their own languages. They didn't want that, and they don't want that.
It's a headache to them. They don't like this. They just want one language.
Yes.
To every country. Okay, so you are saying that the constitution must be there, and the Ethiopian people at the end of Abiy Ahmed should have the chance of referendum to decide whether or not to stay with Ethiopia or to go.
Absolutely, absolutely. But nobody should accept if he made any changes now. Nobody should accept that.
I think Abiy Ahmed could have changed it, but he knows the reaction of the Ethiopian people who are the majority of Ethiopians who are part of the nations and nationalities who have been enjoying the 27 years of speaking their own language, teaching their kids on their language. So he wanted to completely destroy the constitution, but if he does, he knows the Oromo itself will be going against him. So I presume he is heading towards that. He wants to be a king, as you know. He doesn't want the parliamentary system. He will become a president if he stays longer, and then after that he will get towards the king of Abiy Ahmed. That's what he is wishing, if he can stay longer than he should. So, you know, the unity of all the nations and nationalities is very important for this man to be removed. Otherwise, there is no doubt, if he stays longer, he will definitely completely destroy the constitution, and there will be no chance of referendum for any nation in Ethiopia.
The guy, even he said it, he's a very delusional guy. You know what he said? And I found it very funny. He said, my mom told me that you're going to become the king of Ethiopia one day. He probably pursued that dream. So, and he wants to get it, maybe he wants to get there by any means necessary, even if he has to kill or slaughter millions of Ethiopians. Now the Ethiopian people have to wake up. And I want to say this to Tigray people, and I'm sure they're going to listen to this. And hopefully you guys, you're going to translate them in Tigrinya.
Yeah.
They have to understand we are going the same thing they are going through. This man has armed the Afars to attack you, to attack your people, and they're doing the same thing. I don't know why Afars are doing this, because Afars, you guys, you are neighbor on the northern side, and we are neighbor on the southern side. He's using, and I'm also even, I would like to address to the Afar people, the people who will come and send. Abiy is using them. He's creating enemies for them. And after he's gone, what are they going to do about it? Because we are not going to let them slaughter our people. And I'm sure the Tigray people will not do that. Before it's too late, they have to do something about it. Whatever they call it, even they call in the Tigray people who are liberating themselves, the junta, because that's his propaganda line. The Amphar people, I'm addressing to you, and I'm begging you, please stop. you're going to regret it tomorrow. Because today, you will do whatever you want now. But the question is, are you going to do what you're doing for him, the daily work for you're doing for Abiy, you're going to be doing for forever? No. No. It's going to be a change. The change has already begun. It depends. Are you going to be the side of the history or the side of the dark history of Abiy? You have to choose. And I'm addressing directly the leadership of Afar. You blew it. You had a chance to reconcile your brotherly neighbor, the Tigrays and the Isa Somalis, but you didn't do that. You choose to satisfy one man. One man, one crazy man, one madman, and you blow it, you destroy your neighbor. You have been used, hoodlum. Then, please, don't give me whatever you gain out of that. I don't need anything from you. But for your own sake, stop this. Do not follow that madman. That's all I can say about that.
Thank you so much. Let me let you listen. Do you listen a bit of Amharic? Let me let you listen the contradictory statement he was making during the time he has been in power. I will let you listen. I will try to interpret it in English if you don't understand it. But for more importantly for our listeners to listen how complicated and contradictory man this man is. Whatever he says today, he does not repeat it tomorrow. Even sometimes he says one thing in one parliamentary meeting and he contradicts with that statement in the same meeting without even waiting one day or another meeting to come. So listen to what he has been saying from the day he became a prime minister until almost recently.
እኔ የሁሉም ኢትዮጵያውያን መሪ ነኝ። ሁሉም ኢትዮጵያውያን አቅፌ ሁሉም ኢትዮጵያውያን ሰምቼ ለሁሉም መልካም የማስበውን ነገር በዘመኔ ለማድረግ ጥረት አደርጋለሁ። ከዚህ በኋላ ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ የስልጣን ሽግግሩም ይሄንን መልክ ይዞ ይከተላል ብዬ አምናለሁ።
የኢትዮጵያ ጠቅላይ ሚኒስትር ሆኜ በወር 400 ምናምን ዶላር ነው የምበላው። እንደምታውቁ አልሰርቅም። ይሄን ሁሉ የሰፈር ጣጣ ለመስማት ግዴታ የለብኝም።
እርስ በርሱ የማይነጋገር ህዝብ፣ እርስ በርሱ የማይግባባ ህዝብ ፈጥረን ስናበቃ አስፋልት ሰርተንልሃል ከሆነ እኛ እኮ ፓርቲ ነን፣ እኛ መንግስት ነን። ሪስፖንሲቢሊቲ መውሰድ አለብን። ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ ለተገኘው ልማት ለተገኘው ሰላም ባለቤቱ ህዝብ ነው። ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ ለጠፋው ጥፋት ተጠያቂው መንግስት ነው።
ጠቅላይ ሚኒስትር የተሰጠው ስልጣን አለ። የተሰጠው መከላከያ የማንም ሀገር ወታደር ቢሆን ከዚህ በልጥ ብቃት ማሳየት አይችልም። መከላከያ ሰራዊት ጋር ሳምንት ነው የገመገምነው። ትናንት እሑድ ነው የጨረስነው። የሀገር መከላከያ ሰራዊት አባል ሆኖ በትግራይ እህቶቻችን ላይ መድፈርን መዝረፍን የፈጸመ ማንኛውም ወታደር በህግ ይጠየቃል። ራቁታቸውን የሄዱ ሰዎች የኤርትራ ልብስ ለብሰው መጥተዋል። ለዚህ ነው ኤርትራ ወጋን የሚሉት። እንግዲህ ራቁታን እንዋጋም መቼም። ከዚያ በኋላ የኤርትራ ጦር የኢትዮጵያን ድንበር ተሻግሮ ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ እንቅስቃሴ ያደረገ በእኛ ህዝብ ላይ በጥፋት በሚገለጽ ማንኛውም መንገድ የሚያደርጋቸውን ጥፋቶች አንቀበልም።
ሰው የሞተ ችግኝ አይተከልም የሚለን ጠላት ነው፣ እንዳትሰሙ። ሰው የሞተበት ቦታ ችግኝ እንተክላለን፣ ቢያንስ አስክሬኑ ጥላ እንዲኖረው።
Yeah, there were 9 videos. The first one was when he first became a prime minister. He was saying, "I will be a man of peace. I will be uniting the country. I will do everything correct to make sure every Ethiopian is benefiting from my leadership." That's what he was saying at the beginning. The second video was in the United Arab Emirates. He had a meeting. Many people were complaining about what is happening to them, the corruption and other things, and he was writing what they were saying, and he had that piece of paper on his hand, and he said, "As you know, my salary, my monthly salary is about $400. So I don't have and as you know, I don't steal any money from the public purse, so I don't have to listen to all this nonsense issues of yours. That's why he said on the second video. The third video when he was in the United States to please the Amhara expansionist, he was still EPRDF at that time. He was not officially forming the. You remember he killed the engineer Semenyo, and then he went to ESA, and then he was enjoying the reception in USA. So he was trying to get to grab the attention of he was saying, we are government. All the developmental things that has been done throughout the 27 years, the owner is the people of Ethiopia. All the bad things that was happening is owned by the government. So we are government. So the developmental side is owned by people. Anything that is being done wrongly by the government has to be the responsibility of the government. That was on his third video. On the fourth video, he was talking about the Tigray war. He was saying that no single human being has been killed during the operation in Tigray. That's what he was saying. No single person was killed during the operation in Ethiopia, in Tigray. So he was praising his armies for being disciplined, not killing one single person. The next video was saying that I'm sorry, a lot of people have been killed in Tigray. Women have been, gang raped. So I'm sorry this has happened. So any military who has been involved in this kind of activity will be facing the full force of the law. That's what he said on the fifth video. And the sixth video, he said he first said there was no one had been killed. And the second video was he was talking about the war is always it destroys the country. So our Tigray sisters and mothers shouldn't be facing all this. We will make sure all the armies who have been involved in this will be facing the full force of the law. And then on the seventh video, he said he was denying the involvement of Eritreans. He was saying that because North Command was attacked, so they didn't have any clothes to wear, they went to Eritrea and they were wearing the uniforms of Eritrean army because they didn't have any clothes on them. That's why people are saying Eritrean armies are in Tigray. That was on his seventh video. And the eighth video, he was saying, we cannot accept Eritreans killing our own people. We spoke to the President Isaias, and he was disagreeing with that as well. So any army who was involving on wrongdoing in Tigray will be also facing the discipline. And then at the end, people say don't plant trees because don't listen to them. We will plant trees because when people die, that tree will be on the side of their grave. So don't listen to them. We will plant trees because the people need trees when they die on their grave. That's what he was saying. There are 9 videos. This was
so he doesn't even remember. So he doesn't even remember what he says one time. The next day he doesn't remember. What about he doesn't have a staff like this will remind him that?
Exactly. So that is how complicated this man is. Every time he makes a statement, contradicts exactly on the previous statement he was making. So this is the kind of man who is leading Ethiopia. This is the kind of man.
There is a Somali saying. It says, "At least remember your previous lie." If you want to lie, at least remember your previous lie, because he doesn't even remember his previous lie.
Yeah, exactly. And I forgot one thing. Sorry, on his first video, he said some people in the towns and villages, some people, when they have some robberies in their area, they say, what is the Prime Minister doing? And then he responded, I am not the militia of your area, so it is your responsibility to make sure there is a peace in your area. I am a prime minister. I know what I'm doing, so I am not the militia of your area. That's what he said. Irresponsible. That's what
the guy is irresponsible.
So
the guy. He's unfit. To be honest with you, Addis, I hate to interrupt you. Personally, he's unfit to govern. He's unfit to govern. He doesn't know how to govern.
Yeah.
I don't know the people who choose him, even the United States embassy that groom him, they must have even feeling now disappointed. The guy, he does not know how to govern. He thinks governing is a lying and killing. That's not a governing.
Yeah,
if you cannot make the lives of the ordinary people better, that's not a governing. What he's doing is masculine. And I wanna conclude one thing, which is very important. I think is very, very important for us, for both of us, the Tigray people and the Somali Isas. I think those of us in diaspora, we need to get together. We need to do extensive lobbying in terms of, even if we have to go straight to the member of parliament or a congressman or woman, they know. But especially in the United States, we need to organize and even register to vote our people. This November coming, there will be a vote. And I want to remind them, the Republican Party as well as the Democratic Party, we are coming. If you are not going to condemn or bring a strong action against, take a strong action against this Abiy guy and his henchmen or cronies, we will going to outvote you. And that's why we need to get together, create a coordinated committee for both of us, and we could even influence. Even I know there's a lot of African American community are helping us, even other community in the United States, even the Caucasian Americans. They are sick of it, what's going on in Ethiopia right now as we speak. And we will present, I think we need the resources, pull our resources together. And now until November, the first week of November, that's what is going to be the election. We need to do extensive lobbying. Even in UK, you guys, you could do that. Because there is no other way. And you have my contact. Please, anyone who's in the United States, try to get in touch with me, and I will do the best I can also to do my part.
Excellent. You know, when we say lobbying, I just want to make it clear to our listeners, we are not trying to fabricate anything like Abiy supporters. We are trying to display the factual information to the international community, exactly as it happens. There are so many factual information that is been hidden. It's not known to the many members of the international community. So we are not going to lobby fabricating information like Abiy Ahmed's supporters. Our lobbying is to display the factual information to the international community so that they can hold this man responsible for the crimes that he has been committing on our people.
Yes, the good thing today, we are not going to fabricate or lie anything else is doing it. The good thing today, thanks God, there is a cell phone. Everybody it's filming. People are filming. In over there, anybody who has, even some people are risking their lives to taping what's going on. So people will see. We will present them, as you said, a hard evidence.
Exactly.
They cannot control, he cannot control that. The Ethiopian government cannot control that.
No.
You're right. We are going to present a hard evidence. That's why even we need to organize, not only marching, we need to organize sort of town hall meetings and invite other Americans and Europeans, invite them and show them the evidence themselves, because they are the voters, they are the potential voters.
Yeah.
Because Ethiopia is being given money by the United States government, Canada, Europeans. That has to be freeze. Even other government, even I'm dumbfounded. Even Turkey have sold it a drone that is bombing now in Makale.
Yeah.
Turkish government, even they have to think twice to do that, because the guy is not using it to kill enemies; he's using it his own people.
Yeah,
even a women and children.
That's true. That is true. So, Mohammed, we are very close to the end of our session program today. So, if you have one last message to make to the people of Ethiopia, the people of Tigray, or any other messages that I did not mention, ask you in the questions that we have been engaged. So, feel free to say to cover anything that you have missed throughout the interview. So,
thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think we pretty much cover it, but I would like to say, and I would like to address in our community, especially the people who have been displaced, and at least I'm asking and pledging our community to at least help them, those who are in diaspora, because these people really do not have a food. They've been removed their homes. They don't have nothing, only the clothes they have in their bag, nothing else. So I'm also asking, and the Tigray people to be patient, to fight. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise, because this is the only way we could make a difference. And we need that. I want them to know our heart is with them, because we know what's going on. We know, and we also need their help, since they have a more experience than us, since they have at least better resources and more unified. Because now even Djibouti, the Djibouti government is watching them. And I'm sorry that they've been coward, because they've been known to being cowards. Because these people that has been slaughtered is the same tribe that Ismail Omar Guelleh, the president of Djibouti, which is not sad. He's sitting there, and his people have been slaughtered here in Ethiopia, and he's not doing anything. Even the Isas Amphar who are who reside in Ethiopia, they also reside in Djibouti. It could have made a difference if there was only a problem between two communities, but that's not. It's much bigger. It's much bigger. It's because it's a land grab, and this is a foolish politics of Abiy. So I would like to say, and please be strong and resist. Do not let this man win. And may God be with you. And I would like to say to everybody, have a great and pleasant night.
Thank you so much, Mohammed. I am very grateful that you spend your valuable time to put your messages across to the people of Ethiopia as a whole, and people of Tigray in particular, and people of Isa. So also you really made a very clear message to every community in the world, the international community, the armies in the Somali. So it has been a pleasure talking to you. I'm sure we will continue meeting again in due course until this man is facing the full force of the law. So we will continue battling against this man. So I am sure we'll meet again. But for today, we will be finishing here. So thank you so much for your time, Mohammed. Thank you so much.
Likewise.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of our program. It has been, this was myself, Adisalam Balai, and Mohammed that we have been discussing about the current issues in Ethiopia and the dictatorial leadership of Abiy Ahmed. So we will be bringing other guests, and also we will bring Mohammed back again to our studio in due course. But in the meantime, we would like to thank you all for taking your valuable time to listen to our program until the next, we meet in the next program. Thank you so much, and good evening, good morning, and good afternoon from the time that you are watching us from.